Here we have a tool designed in Excel to be able to do triangular arbitration in the Binance exchange. Arbitration with cryptocurrencies in the Binance exchange. It is easy to understand. Let's see how it is configured. On the left side of this tool is the configuration panel, and on the right side are the orders, are the triangulation packages that this tool is sending. Here we see the currencies with which we want to accumulate. We want to do triangulation, the main ones USDT, BUSD and Bitcoin. These three currencies can be combined with fiat currency and in this case with another cryptocurrency that is Ethereum. I decided to separate it like this because in that way better. Opportunities are according to the style of each one. The one who wants to accumulate only in Bitcoin, then mark Bitcoin. The one who wants to accumulate in USDT, mark USDT, or the one who wants to accumulate in BUSD, mark BUSD, or you can mark them all. An example, we are going to see opportunities if they exist at this time with Bitcoin. Here we see one in which doing triangulation with these three currency crosses we obtain this utility to this profitability. If we are going to look with BUSD, we have one with a higher profitability with these currency crosses, and we are going to have this utility. Notice that this works in real time, likewise the execution of the orders. In the case that I do not have USDT, if I mark, it will not give me opportunities. You have to keep that in mind. You have to mark coins in which there is a jump. If I mark USDT, it immediately says no jump and opportunities are erased. I can mark fiat coins. If we mark fiat, we will have opportunities with fiat money. Here we see one with the Australian and the BUSD, a much greater utility. Here you have to notice something, that suddenly with fiat currency we are going to see high utilities due to the lack of liquidity of these same ones. So you have to be careful when we mark fiat and do triangulation. You have to know how to choose the currencies, and in the case that we mark Ethereum, let's see if we have opportunities with Ethereum. Indeed, here we have one with Ethereum. This is the three currency crosses that give us opportunities combining it with Ethereum, but we accumulate in this case with BUSD. If I suddenly save BUSD, we will see if we have opportunities for Bitcoin, and indeed there is. Ah well, with Bitcoin but not with Ethereum. He makes a kind of combination, and here he shows me the best opportunity for triangulation of the entire list. That is available from all the opportunities, from all the crosses that are currently in place according to a list, not all the crosses of Binance, no. The crosses of the coins that I have chosen or that have been chosen, it shows me the opportunities of those, of that coin, of those crosses, which is the best, and it represents it to me here, in this quadrant. In the bottom part we are going to see what risk is. The risk is how much I want. Start operating the triangulation package, and all this is depending on the USDT. In this case I have it with 50. There is no need to modify the BUSD or the Bitcoin because it automatically changes it according to the amount of risk that I want to place in USDT. It means that the amounts in BUSD and Bitcoin are equivalent to the amount of USDT. If I place 100 at this moment, it will give me the representation of $100 for BUSD and for Bitcoin. Notice that since I don't have this amount of Bitcoins at the moment, he tells me that I don't have a balance, and obviously he won't take opportunities from me. If I put it in BUSD, the safest thing, yes, but I have to uncheck the Bitcoin box, and here I already have an opportunity in BUSD and with $100. Dollars or 100 USDT converted to BUSD, I have an opportunity that at this moment with these three currency crosses, a profitability of 0.5, and I would be accumulating 78 cents at this time if I execute it. How do you execute it? With this button. We are going to see the procedure. We continue here. This is the commission. That is charged by Binance. Obviously if I use BNB, it will charge me a lower commission. That's why I have it marked here, and here I have it. It throws me an alert when my BNB are going down according to a top, and at this moment I have it with an equivalent of 10 USDT. When in my balance I have less than 10 USDT in BNB, it will mark an alert that tells me, be careful, the BNB are going to fall. Buy. Then the alert as it is that this becomes red, this box is red, and now we are going to see the profit. That is, I have a profit at this time. I have it at the minimum, that is 0.15 the profit. It is from 0.15% to 1%. So, I put a minimum in which I hope to get opportunities. If obviously in this case I put the minimum at 0.15% and using here in this case Ethereum, we are going to save Ethereum and we are going to work only with VUSD. If I put a minimum of 0.15%, then greater or equal opportunities at 0.15% will appear. If I raise it to 0.30, notice that it does not appear here because the one we had previously was 0.23. Usually I work with 0.40, 0.41 opportunities above 0.40. If suddenly I mark ETH or fiat, then possibly we will see quite high opportunities, as in this case with the euro. At this point we have almost 2%. And with an equivalent of 100 USDT, we would be in this case of this triangulation, we would be accumulating 2 BUSDT. I repeat, usually with fiat currencies the risk is a little higher due to lack of liquidity. Then we return, and here this is the minimum profit panel that I hope to have. On the right side we have our wallet, our money, in real time the balance of the money we have in each coin. In case you suddenly want to update the balance, I give you this button here, update, and it immediately what it does is bring the balance back to be able to be a little safer. On the right panel, we have the triangulation packages that are open at the moment and in which they are executed waiting for their closure. It must be remembered that this works as follows. It sends the first order of the first cross until that order is taken by the system. The second order of the second cross must be placed, and effectively for the third we have to wait for the second order to be processed by the Binance system. At this moment we have two triangulations of which the first order was already executed. In the first case it was Bitcoin. This amount of Bitcoin was bought at this price. And for this triangulation, when I finish this triangulation, I will have a profit or an accumulation of 32 cents of BUSDT and a Bitcoin savings of this amount. Why is there savings? Because by placing orders in Binance, you cannot place all the decimals depending on the currency. So, those remaining decimals end up being a savings, and here it shows you what the savings are. In the second opportunity, in the second triangulation opportunity, we will have 33 cents of BUSDT, a profit of 33 cents and a savings of this amount of Bitcoin. Here, manually, this is a semi-automatic tool, it is not automatic. We have to mark the moment when the orders should be placed. The first order is automatically placed, that is, the first order, but the second one, we must mark at what time this second one should be placed and at what time the first order has been passed through the system. Here we see the representations of the crypto bases of this cruiser and a tool in which they tell me at what time I can place the next order. These are the ones we see here, in which it tells me if I have the waiting signal, it is that it has not yet been footed, it has not yet footed this purchase order that we have. When this purchase order is footed, the word verify will most likely appear here. And I enter to verify that in the Binance platform has taken this order. We are going to place an order so you can see how it works. So let's modify it. For the moment I'm working with 50, an equivalent of 50 USDT, and as I said above 0.41, I'm not working at the moment with fiat currency. Obviously the profitability is very good, but I still have to know how to choose currencies that work with fiat or at least verify the volume. But we are going to demarcate the fiat currencies and we are going to work with BUSDT. We are going to wait for it to come out. An opportunity, and we enter it as it works. The next opportunity, in which if I give it here in the execute button, this triangulation will appear in this panel that we see here. Okay, here we already have our first opportunity that appears. Well, here comes another one. Immediately after hitting the execute button, it places the triangulation packages in this part. We notice that when this triangulation closes, we will have a profit very close to 42 United States cents, and in this case I will accumulate in this currency this amount. You have to wait for the first order that appears here in a sales order. The system takes it to be able to place it as the system already placed it, and that the second order. This order has already arrived to the Binance system, and all I have to do is wait. Here we see BUSDT RIP, it already took it, I already sold it, so what I have to do is place it, and notice that here the word verify appears. Why? Because the system already took this order of sale, which is the same, the 49. In this case 49 USDT that was sold at this price, and the system when placing it sends a purchase order of this currency crossed to these conditions, to this price and to this quantity. So that's how triangulation works. In the following videos I will explain what these buttons are for. These buttons are actually for when you have finished a triangulation package. You hit this button and it erases it,